We're going to go ahead and customize the heading style. So we'll hit save there. And once we customize the heading style, let's use Arial Black as our heading style. Let's make the headings, let's make them 22 pixels tall. Well, no, let's make them 18 pixels tall. We can, let's let the color of them be white, but let's change the background color up to a really dark gray or a darker gray. And then let's give ourselves 10 pixels of padding around the heading. I want to go down to a 1 pixel for the letter spacing rather than that 2 pixel. I'm going to get rid of all caps. I'm going to center the headline text, and I'm not going to make a bold. It's already Arial Black. So if we hit save to that, we'll come back over here and refresh it. Okay, now we have a nice little centered headings with a different color. And instead of this color, we could easily put this as the background for those. So, for example, let's go get from our full width backgrounds, let's get that image address. And that is the header area background image. Copy that. Then go back to our content widgets. And then under the heading, block heading style. Oh, I can't do that because I don't provide a method for swapping out the heading background. I do provide a method for swapping out the text background. And I also provide a method for actually, this would work. Widget block background style. This is where we can do it. Or no, we can't do it there. I'm sorry, that's not true. We can't do it there because that would be the entire block. So that's something I'm going to have to add into the plugin, because I would like to be able to take this thing and put it here rather than just using a color. And although I could take that and put it in the background of this. And yes, Dennis, I can add gradients to the background. Can I add gradients to the background? I believe I can. I get lost sometimes in what I have. Widget column background style. If I say yes to that, no, I haven't added gradients to this yet. I will add gradients to it. Block background style. Let's just check that real quick. Nope, no gradients for those yet, but that is absolutely something that we should do because I like those gradients. I think they're cool. So that'll be something that we add here in the not very distant future. Dennis, yes, version 1.0 is the current one that you upload, but once you install it tomorrow morning or later in the day, you'll have a message on it that says it's been upgraded to 1.2, and you can press the button to upgrade automatically and it'll run off and grab the 1.2. I just got that done before I pressed record, so I haven't had a chance to get that that stuff fixed. I mean, I haven't had a chance to swap that out yet. But this is what I wanted to show you, the ability to, without having to write the CSS yourself, to be able to create things like this using these plugins. And just in case you were wondering how much CSS this writes, each of these plugins writes their CSS to the same file. And so if we come over and look at, and it's stored in the thesis custom folder so that when you upgrade it will stay there. And if I go over to thesis and custom file editor and we select the BYOB custom CSS file, here's all the CSS that has been written by that plugin in order to style the stuff the way it styles it. So essentially what it does is it has a very light load on the load of a page because it does not rely on option settings and things like that for the page load. And what it does is it places all the styling in that CSS file and then hooks these things to specific functions just as if you were doing it in your custom CSS file. I mean in your custom functions PHP file for these, which means that these plugins should have very little impact on the loading of your site, and there's no jQuery or JavaScript in them or anything like that, so there's no possibility of conflicts between these plugins and any other plugins. I mean, I suppose there may be some possibility of conflict between these plugins and a plugin that also relies on thesis hooks, like, what is it? That thesis hooks plugin, whatever that one is. So there may be some things like that, but otherwise it's intended to be fast and to do all the heavy lifting while you're in your admin screens, not when the page is loading. So